How is everyone doing? This is Sit Down with Sniper, and it is episode 25. I've been getting around to this episode, and I'm really glad that I could bring it to everyone today. So we have none other than Jvon. How you doing, brother?
I'm I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How you doing, Snipe? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. I know we've been trying to
Yes,
plan this
sir.
for a little bit, so I'm glad we could actually finally sit down, talk about some things, talk about the losers and how you been, brother. So
I'm glad too, man. It's been very overdue. It's been since NFTLA almost, so it's been quite some time for sure.
so I just want to ask you, man, whenever you first got into the scene, you were the artist. We all love the losers. We still love the losers. Where you've come from, and we'll jump into the whole beginning in a second, but I just want to know where, since you've started to where you're at now, how much has changed? Are you doing better now? Are things confusing to you? Where are you sitting at now?
Man, it's like a weird exchange to where like maybe, you know, existentially I was a little more grounded before launching an NFT project. I was just, doing art on the side, working my job, trying to be a good dad and a good partner. But I was broke. Now it seems like I got a little more liquidity. Like we have a savings where, as everyone on Twitter knows, we're saving to buy a house. But like we have a savings and we have a little more of a resource. But now like I'm dealing with like being a public figure and this and that. It's a lot that goes on in like my mind as far as existence goes. And there was always this like subtle voice that kind of just whispers like nihilistic things to me, like all this doesn't really mean anything and this and that. So I'm like, I don't know. I feel like my mental stability has kind of been tested in exchange for some money, like, but things are pretty good. I was telling Sniper everybody off camera that, I just got into therapy and, working on self-help. I've been eating yogurt for breakfast, Greek yogurt, it's not that great, but it's good for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep the free radicals, at bay, you feel me?
I
But yeah.
mean, that's something for one I need to start doing myself. I do not eat the best, and I know that is affecting my health. I'm always wondering why I'm tired in the middle of the day,
Yeah,
probably because I'm
man.
not feeding my body correctly. So,
And it affects your mind too, man. I
yes.
mean, to the extent which I don't know, because I'm not well researched, but that's just another journey that, I'm saying, we just got to embark on at some point, inevitably.
Man, see, after this, I'm gonna go chug a gallon of water and start getting on my routine stuff
You
again.
know?
You know what I'm
Come on.
saying? So,
Yeah.
and we love to hear that you're actually doing the mental health. I mean, that's one thing in this space that I know a lot of people try to preach on, talk about mental health, but it is a serious thing. It is something that a lot of people may deal with. Rather it be they're upset, they're depressed. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. A lot of people I've seen a lot of people, put on, they're happy, but like I said, you never know what someone could be dealing with.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy to hear that, you're doing what you need to make sure everything's right. And I know you're saving up for the house, so you're gonna get that before too long, brother. I'm praying for you.
Love,
Um,
love.
Absolutely. So for those that don't know who Jvon is, we would say that you are the artist behind Loser Club. So could you give us a little background of your startings, and were you doing anything before the whole NFT scene?
Yes, yes, of course. Well, hello, my name's Jvon. I am the founding artist for Loser Club. Even though I will say there's a bunch of, artists inside our community who are trying to like, get me up out of here. They're so talented. Our whole community is very talented. But yeah, no, I started off, well, I want to say I've been doing music and graphic design for like the past 12 years or so since dropping out of university, just on an independent level. Once I dropped out of school, I was just bumming it on my mom's couch, and she started, nudging me off the couch. So like, I got a second job, and I moved into my own spot. Was like the only way to like really move the way I wanted to move was to just buy my own little tools and learn how to use the tools. So I picked up music production, audio engineering, and like I learned how to record, mix my own music, and then I learned how to make my own beats. And from there, I bought like a Wacom tablet and was like, okay, well, now that I am doing my own sounds, I might as well put my own art to it. So I was doing all my own like album arts. I was animating videos for my music and just trying to just, be this like modern day Renaissance man. And years go by, you get better and better. You start off, however, most people start off, they suck, but that's sucking is the first step to greatness. You know what I'm saying? You got to just practice and keep it going. That's the secret, everybody. Just keep going. But yeah, no, years passed by and I started getting a little, traction in the underground scene, and then my local scene started performing a little more. My art got better, and this and that. The pandemic happened when I felt like I was really about to start like performing more and putting myself out there more. And I kind of just watched the music industry kind of fizzle out a little bit, like as far as like aspiring talent and artist development goes. So I had been in NFT. I think I jumped in around summer 2020, like right during like the pandemic. I wasn't doing much in it. I kind of just was making my own little graphic art, still trying to do albums and have fun. But I was just doing my little one-of-ones, sold a couple, seeing how the technology works a little bit. Didn't understand the communal aspect of it, so I didn't have too much success. And then probably a year plus in, I met this woman who just DM'd me on Instagram. This is the funny story I always tell people, but Miriam, she goes by Kylie DeJenner. She just random pretty woman with no followers, private account on Instagram, DMs me, asking me about my art. And I'm like, oh, you're a scammer. Like there's no way you're a real, there's no way you're a real page. I get these fake, everyone gets them, these fake meet local singles, like DMs from, random spam accounts. So, but then like something told me like, wait a minute, they're not, trying to sell me anything. So I replied to her, and then I did my due diligence, tried to find her OpenSea, tried to find her Discord and her Twitter. And I found her, and seeing that she was like a Doodles maxi, she was a degenerate. She had like hundreds of NFTs, and I just watched her, thank God to decentralized finance. You know what I'm saying? I just watched what she was doing and how of the culture she was. And at this point, I had just started learning how to use Discord and started, building community. And I was like, okay, well, she's a cool person. At this point, I'm still just taking art jobs. Music's not really cooking. I'm still trying to, stay creative. But I'm just working my full-time job and just doing art jobs on the side for the holiday season. While I'm doing these art jobs, she's like, you need to make an NFT project. You should do this. It wasn't even about like her. She was very removed from even, partaking in what such a victory this could have been. She kind of just wanted to see me make this art project. And I was like, no, I'm good. I've never seen anyone look like me do anything to that capacity successfully. She just kept, harassing me to do one. I took this one probably the biggest art commission I've ever received. I think the payout at the end was around like $80,000, and I'm broke. At this point, I'm making my little salary job, making like $55K a year, which I guess it's broke in Seattle because like everything's expensive, but it's decent money. But no, like, and I'm just like, I'm trying to take this job, but we're going back and forth about the business part and the art part, and it just seemed to be very undervalued. And I consulted my friends in the space who told me that I was, lowballing myself, and that these people who were in this space knew that I was lowballing myself and were letting me. So it just kind of just felt like I wasn't being valued as the artist I was. They spoke to me like I didn't prove concept, like I didn't create this thing. So we cut the business short, and I never received that payout. I kind of just sacrificed that payout respectfully. I quietly bowed out, and as their project artist, and I just left them with the concept art that I did prior. And then from there, I kind of got a feel of for like how valuable my art is in this space. Like even with that not working out, like just the tones and the voicings people were using, like, nah, like I have something here that people need or want rather, because I don't, what do we really need? Need, it's a concept, right? But then at that point, Miriam was like, no, you're doing a project. And then from there, I was kind of just, I guess it restored a little belief in me because I'm like, you know what, let's do it. And then just as we're cooking this art and we're, building our community up, I'm getting closer to present day. Like I start learning how like, not only is my art kind of like cool in this space, but like the people needed me in this space almost like not like everything all encompassing. They needed my vision, but they also needed my voice. They needed my face. They needed my skin. They needed my our culture almost, like there's just so much like that we brought as a collective project, and we've garnered the support of like-minded individuals, and like it just blew up beyond anything I could imagine. I wasn't even expecting to sell it out, and it sold out. Like I don't concern myself too much with like floor prices, but I care about it when it comes to like our community, and like our floor price has been kind of stable through everything. Like like we've been kind of chilling and just I don't know. It's just been a wild ride, and I'm overall just grateful because like present day, I don't have to wake up anymore at 3:30 to catch a 4:30 bus to get to work at 6 a.m. Like I get to wake up naturally. I get to cook my daughter breakfast, and then I get to essentially just do what I love for a living. And I think that's like the overall victory for me personally, even though I'm dealing with whatever I'm dealing with in my mind and financially, but like just the fact that I got another like degree of freedom, I guess, is kind of just been the best part. And yeah,
It's
that's me.
it's really wild to hear the journey that you've took, and it's beautiful itself as well,
Thank
because
you.
it shows, there's a lot of people in this space, and you call a spade. There is plenty of people out here who are wealthy. There are plenty of people out here that before NFTs they were still fine.
Yeah.
So
A
and
lot of the big crypt from what I gathered when I first came into space and Rarible was chaos and it barely worked. I
mhm.
don't mean to cut you off, but like
No, you're fine.
a lot of the biggest people were just people who were big in crypto, and they just was like, oh, well, let's do some NFT stuff. Like,
Exactly. I saw a lot of
yeah,
people shift from maybe one coin to another, or they had a lot stored up. So it was easy for them to jump into NFTs. Even people like myself, I was very transparent that I started a year and a half ago with $2,000, and I've never put more into NFTs. I was just lucky and early at the time. But to hear that you've made that journey and you've done things, that's beautiful, man. So I do want to rewind a little bit and ask you, whenever you decided, okay, I'm going to do this project and whatnot, I'm sure it was more clear to you at that time that people really enjoyed the artwork that you put out and your vibe of who you are. So what was that feeling whenever going from someone, and we know we say this out of respect, having to get that second job because you were wanting to get out of your mom's house, to then going to this loved artist that a lot of people were getting to see more and more of. How did that feel for you? Was that like surreal almost?
it was crazy, honestly. I've at because I've been doing art and stuff for like a little over 11, 12 years. So like
Right.
the only thing that's kind of kept me going, not only, is just, my fluctuating self-belief, but a lot of it was the affirmation. I think I've always gotten little glimpses or little like doses of like affirmation or positive feedback,
Right.
just love here and there, and like small little, drops enough to just not quit. Even before I, turned down that big art job, like I was in, Fang Gang's Discord. I was in something called Moon Boys, just like 3D art project. And one of the biggest things I would do in these Discords was I would draw like fan art, like, just in my style of, the stuff I liked that they had going on.
Hmm.
And I would get these hints of like, yo, Jvon, we love what you do. Like, and then I met this strange North African woman on Instagram who was like, yo, my whole family is obsessed with you. Like, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, but thanks. Like, so there was always these small, like, yes, you got something like that I've always gotten. So once I decided to dive completely in, and I seen, and like Lopez wrote the first article about, artist-led projects and valuing the artist, and everyone kind of went crazy. Once people seen like that I was the concept artist behind Fishy Fam, like people went crazy. Like, yo, Jvon's art is like, people started seeing the like I did 15 concept designs and showed them all to Miriam just for, just for fun. And like just seeing how people all just thought all of these like sketches and doodles were crazy. I was just like I think seeing all of that love like at once is what like really just blew me away. Cause I'm like, I thought for like the longest, like I kind of just made peace with being like a niche, like underground king almost. Like, oh yeah, I speak to a small percentage of people and they understand me. It's esoteric, and I just make peace with the fact that I'll never be popular, and I could just like these few people enjoy this. So that whole reality of mine was blown away. Like it was like, okay, I have something everyone likes, and it just, I don't know, it's still crazy to this day, man. I can't believe it. I get my mentions go crazy every day with people just, and they're losers. I feel like I still haven't even seen all of them, all 10K of the losers. So every day is a new loser. And I'm like, wow, that one exists too. That's crazy. But yeah, no, it's a way different feeling. I'm almost like drowning in love. Like
Well, I
my heart
mean,
can't take it.
that's one of the, I mean, that's a positive thing. I would love to think that that's a
Yeah.
positive thing. And I want to ask before jumping over to talk about your team. You've been an artist, like you said, for 11, 12 years, and we know that Loser Club is not even a year old. So would you say that this is the first time that you're getting this much love outside of your hometown or just worldwide? Like this is the most your art has been seen by the masses?
By far. By far. I mean,
Right.
I want to say in like 2019, I got a Russ cosign.
Oh, hey,
But
okay.
that didn't move the needle like as much as this project did, obviously. Like this project,
Hmm.
if you consider what an NFT project even is, it's literally crowdfunding for whatever the vision is. Like our project just happens to be Jvon's vision, and Jvon is an artist, and Jvon making this brand. So like that's that's what technically all our NFT holders are investors. That's what the investors are here for. So like there's never been this much, not only like love and support, but also capital support like behind an idea of mine, like at all, by far. Like this smokes everything.
That is true. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. And I mean, I've loved what the Loser Club is doing. And that's why I want to now fast forward a little bit. You build the community. You and Miriam talk about this project. You have the Loser Club. It then comes out. So let's go to the building the community. So you would then have Lopez, you would have yourself, you would have Miriam, you would have Lady Invisible, you would have Lobesy, you would have other people like Cave Guy, and I'm sure I'm missing some as well. But what was it like to get those people beside you? I met Lady Invisible. Excuse me. I met Lady Invisible in LA. I've known Lobesy for a long time, and
Yeah,
they're great people. So what was it like to be able to get people like that on your team to build the community?
it was actually funny. Miriam kind of, Miriam is Nick Fury, bro. Like she assembled, I say it all the time, like she assembled, like if we're the Avengers, she assembled the entire Avengers. I
I
don't know,
like
she might
that.
be Captain America, I don't know. But like she, because she is such a degenerate, she's aped into a bunch of projects. She's in these communities. She's just like, I started off calling her big sis, like even though I'm like 4 or 5 years older than her. It's kind of weird now. But yeah, no, like she just was so much more knowledgeable in how things work in NFT because, she's been degening like full time for like the last year. Like this is her only hustle almost, that and like she was doing a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. But like she knew so many people from all these different communities and had such a good rapport that when it was time to say, hey, I'm friends with this amazing artist and we're trying to do X, Y, and Z. It was like nothing we had to sell people on. People kind of seen the art. They was like, who is this guy? She explained who I was, and they were like, yes. And that was it. I think the first couple of people she contacted were like Lopez, who is our other co-founder. He's like he does marketing. He's also a writer. So like he did this article that kind of explained what we were the like ethos of what we're all trying to accomplish. And yeah, I think Miriam just built the team out like impeccably. From the team getting built out, she and a few other people, like myself included, agreed to keep the Discord private. I didn't really know anything about any of that. I mean, as far as like why and stuff, but she explained to me on how like you keep it private and you could let people in and this and that. And it's not necessarily to build hype, but it's more so to build like the community around the right things. So I was personally letting people in the Discord one by one via DMs, as was Lopez, as was Miriam, as was Lady Invisible, like, and it just, because of the way like she built the team from these communities of people she personally knew, I think it was easy for us to like build and grow our community on a personal level also, because it was kind of like everyone was kind of handpicking like the vibe, not necessarily the people. Like we didn't necessarily just say, oh, you own Bored Apes, yeah, let's get you and all your friends in this community. It was more so like, oh, your favorite color is green, come in, bro. Like it was like there was no real basis. It was just human interaction. And I think that sense of humanity is what we not only bring, but it's what brought us all together. Like, yeah.
I like that. No, I mean, that's the thing. So being able to handpick like that, like it's a lot different whenever you're handpicking like we've seen the groups, like I said earlier, a spade is a spade. We've seen the groups, which I won't name, but we've seen when people it's the same group of people going around having the same stuff in the same closed groups. It's like, okay, yeah, I get that. I know what y'all are doing over there. But whenever that's like realistically, that's me whenever I follow people. I only follow 200 people for a reason, but
Yeah.
that's because I like to know who I'm following. I'm not trying to get shield giveaways 24/7. When I went to LA, I followed like 50 people because I got to see them in person, vibe with them. I knew who they were. I got to chill with them. I knew they weren't, about nothing weird. And that's what I love. So being able to handpick in the community and like just let people in that share the same kind of vibes. They share the positivity. You see them being fun in spaces. Yeah, come on in, bro. Like we're not trying to gatekeep it by
Yeah,
any means.
exactly.
I totally respect that. Um, so now we have to where we are now, floor prices definitely always, I don't care what nobody says. I feel like whenever you are a founder, if you say, oh, I don't care about floor price, or oh, I don't look at floor price, that's kind of weird, because that kind of
Yeah,
just
nah,
means to
yeah.
me like you don't care about nothing that's going
Yeah,
on.
nah, it's funny. Nah, and that's what I always try to clear up because I think I don't talk too much about finances
Right.
as, the creative, because all the finances do is they make me anxious and they make me, because I told them when we first minted out that I got the same feeling that I got when my daughter was born. Like I have to do everything I can to take care of my daughter no matter what. So like when this project minted out and we had over 5K people holding this thing, I was like, oh, I got to take care of these people no matter what. So, for the floor price for me, all it does is just make me spiral out. But I care about the floor price. I'm gonna make that like 1,000% clear.
Right.
And verified on blockchain is not because I sell losers. I've bought over 50 losers and I've given them all away. I have 6 losers right now, bro. I'm done. I'm sick of y'all. But I care about the floor price. I mean, I know that the floor doesn't determine the value of a project. It determines who per individual is not liquid. Like so,
Exactly.
so the floor, if the floor is low, it's because somebody needs some money out. That's all that means to me. But I know that this is one of the things determined, some people look at in the market when they do the market thing. That's not lost on me. I care so much about it for the sake of the losers, because I do want everyone to be able to take the profits they need to take in this and that. I do think it's weird if you like absolutely don't care. Like I understand like if you don't care a healthy amount. Like
Right.
I want to lift the floor, but I'm not focused on the floor as a creative because like I have to focus on what I'm doing. Like that's cool. But if you're like, I don't care about the floor, I got my money, then that's kind of weird. And that it's kind of sus. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, I'm that's how I mean it. And the like I said, the fact that you are able to look at it from a standpoint, and those listening in, me and Jvon are good friends. I texted him. He's one of the only creators I've ever texted in my life and been
Yeah,
like,
bro. And I
hey.
don't be giving. I'm gonna let y'all know Sniper legit, bro. Like he like 6'4" in person, and he got a real sultry, tone and voice. It's not just radio. You know what I'm saying? But like I don't be giving my numbers out to people to be hitting me up like Sniper real. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, man. And we got to meet in LA, and that's why I hit Jvon up and I was like, hey, man, I'm not financially correct right now. I'm going to sell a loser. And I just wanted to let you know, out of respect, that's what I was doing. And Jvon didn't take that
Yeah, I thought that
in
was
no ill
crazy.
will.
I
Yeah.
thought that was crazy. I'm like, bro, why are you telling me, bro? I don't care, bro. Get your money. Like, that's what this is. Like, this is essentially what it is. Like, and before we had the art and the projects and the culture, and let's be honest, like I think Loser Club brings a lot of good cultures, like I'm
Yes.
saying. But before we had all of that, we just had people trading assets.
Hmm.
Assets are marked by some type of margin of capital. So if you buy an asset for this much, you hope it goes up. You don't hope it goes up for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And I think everyone, we come from such a diverse like amount of backgrounds. We have to respect the ecosystem. Some people's flip is some people's flip, and that's what I'm saying, that's between you and whoever you pray to. I don't care about that. I
Yeah.
just hope that everybody gets there. So when bro hit me, I'm like, in my head I'm like, why are you telling me? I'm like, bro, get your money.
And that's why it was so crazy, just because I just had so much respect for Jvon, and the fact that a lot of times in this space we've seen people get bashed for selling things and stuff. So to hear from the actual artist, someone from actually the team, totally respect the decision of the holder and support the decision of the holder, that was one thing that I loved getting behind, and one of the reasons why I support. And Jvon made a good point. That floor price does not determine a community. You can still have one hell of a community. I've seen communities with great floors, like even still to this day, BAYC has a strong as hell community, but I don't follow none of them, so I don't see it. I see stronger communities out of other projects because that's what I mean, that's just what's around me. But yeah, it definitely shows. I've seen projects with, look at Crypto Ray Rays for an example, never
Yeah.
surpassed point two, which is fine, perfectly fine. But that community is
Yeah, shout out to
unbelievable.
Dose. That's my guy.
Yeah, huge shout out to Dose. I love that guy, and looking forward to seeing all them guys in New York. So I did want to fast forward to our present time. A
Oh,
couple more things. Oh,
can
what's
I
up?
say one more thing?
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna give
ahead.
y'all. I'm for people who don't really know the alpha in looking at a project. You look at two things, bro. You look at the volume. Well, three things. You look at the volume. If the volume's legit, then cool. And then you look at the activity. If they got some activity going on, or you can see a trend in activity, cool. The third thing that people miss, bro, you click on buy now and you look how many items are actually listed. And you compare that to the total number of items. You normally, a healthy thing is a project will have 10% or less listed. That means that a project is doing just fine. That means everyone's not trying to exit. That means whoever needs liquid, whoever wants to sell is doing their thing. Respect the ecosystems and just look at these things before you jump in a project or out of a project, and you might be all right. Not financial advice. That's all.
No, I like that a lot. I mean, that there are some good points for sure. And with now, I want to get to the where you're at now. Y'all have built something crazy. You know what I'm saying? So regardless floor price, regardless all that stuff, your community is pretty damn wild. So
Yeah.
before we get into, because every podcast episode we do 5 questions, but before we jump into that, there's a couple more things I wanted to touch on. So Lobesy, I've heard on Spaces a lot. He's been really putting on for Loser Club. So shout out to him. What is it
Big
like
Lopes.
for you to see these spaces? And I'm going to let you talk on this for a second and just speak on the multiple names. So this is kind of a two-part. One part would be, what is it like for you to be able to join these spaces? And I've been in these spaces and people get hype whenever you join. I mean, they are really like, they love it, and that's beautiful. That is a beautiful thing. And not only that, but what is it like to have that community so driven and passionate about not only the art, but the project itself, you, all the members, and what has it been like for, and this was huge for me, like people like Fauntleroy, James Fauntleroy, and Kyrie Irving, and I've seen Des Bryant talking to Lady Invisible. How surreal has that been for you? So if you could talk us through them little two things,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would love to
yeah.
hear it.
Ah, man. People do be getting kind of hype when I get in spaces. I think it feels crazy. I guess what can answer both questions is and maybe I'll split up and get into it, but like I think it just shows like what was missing. Well, I guess that answers the first question. It shows what was, and I'll answer the second one later. Sorry, I'm all over the place. My mind works really weird. It's like puzzle pieces, but like it shows what was missing. Um, I can say a few off of the reaction I get and how just people speak to me. I can say a few things was missing. I think, being, this closeness or this sense of proximity to a project, to the founders, to the artist himself, I think that was missing violently. I was joking a lot. Shout out to Scott Martin with Doodles. But what in the earlier days of our project, because we're the next humanoid project, like there's Doodles and then there's us. There's a few others. Shout out to them too. But one of the jokes that I always made about like, the Scotts and the X, Y, and Z artists, where like they sit in Mount Olympus, they don't talk directly to people for the most part. They don't hop in spaces just to chop it up. You know what I'm saying? So I think when I jump in these spaces and see how the community is rocking, I'm like, wow, these people couldn't wait to have an artist that like they can actually talk to, like, because in my head, I mean, I'm from the block. Like if I'm gonna ask anybody for any money, they're gonna ask me why. I'm gonna let them know why, and then later on the line, I'm gonna keep communicating with them like, yo, you gave me that money and this is what I'm doing with your money. You feel me? That's how it works where I'm from. So like I just applied that same principle and I just come just to talk to my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm here, I'm working for y'all now. I'm unemployed. I'm self-employed, but I don't work for me. Sorry, my bro is calling me. I gotta dub him real quick. But because I forgot I got FaceTime on my iMac too, and it kind of threw me off. But yeah, like I think the space was missing, not only that proximity, but the second thing is they just was missing everybody. I think this space needs everyone. Like I am a black man. Whoop, surprise. But no, but not like, oh my God, he's not purple. No, but not like when I first started talking, like after the whole Fishy Fam thing, shout out to HBN and all that, like a lot of people were just listening to me talk in space. They're like, I could listen to this guy talk forever. They were like, yo, man, I just love your vibe. I just love your energy. I just love the way you talk. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, I'm just an ordinary black dude in my head. So I'm like, there's just missing, this space was just missing so much different cultures, I think they needed, for a lack of better words, like a real one, like in the space. They needed us in this space. They needed to see what we can bring. And we bring good things when we're allowed to, you know? And I just want it to be a testament of that. And every time I get in these spaces, like the losers, they get hyped to see me, but they know they can treat me like an ordinary guy. When we have our draw sessions, they let me know when something's trash. They be roasting me. They make jokes about me. Like we really kick it on a level to level. I'm not a god to these people. I'm just a cool dude who drew some art they like. And I think we were just missing that's all I see, is that we were just missing this human level of interaction, and we were missing different cultures in this space. As far as like celebrities and stuff going on, it's getting crazy. It's getting kind of crazy. As a musician, I've always had some kind of like, I've always touched like the light. Like James Fauntleroy we've been following each other on Twitter for like the past 5 years, because he's seen this music video that I animated, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you're a genius. You're weird. You're weird just like me." And like, but he, he's an underground god. Like you don't see him doing a lot of stuff publicly, but he's in every important song's writer credit, stuff like that. Like, so
Drake
like
was his biggest, yeah.
yeah. So like at some point, like around when that happened, I settled on being like an artist for artists. Like, and so I've always gotten like, even like with the Russ co-sign, like he was like, "Yo, Jvon's going to be huge," and nothing happened after that. But like I've always had these like glimmers of like important people knowing what's up with me. But now it seems like it's not just about me as much as it's about like this project and this culture we've built, like me, the founders, and the community, specifically the community. Because like even with Kyrie Irving, like the community was throwing that space and they were chilling. They always throw spaces. And then he jumped in the space. Like that's on them. It wasn't orchestrated. I didn't have anything to do with that. That's all just the community work. But like, I think it's just wild to see like I can birth an idea, I can plant a seed, you know what I'm saying? And then a bunch of people can water it and take care of it, like a community garden, you know what I'm saying? We literally have a community garden. And I don't think one seed alone, I could just go to Kyrie Irving with a seed like, "Here, bro, I got this seed for you." I can't go to any of these people. I hope this makes sense on the playback. But like, I can't just have a seed and be like, "I have this thing. All these famous people, come look at this little seed I have." I think it definitely took me planting a seed and a gang of people watering it, speaking life to it. Because, you got to really talk to plants and trees, because the carbon dioxide is what feeds them, X, Y, and Z. That's why I tell you to talk to plants and whatever. But like, it took like everybody to make this thing so like on the level where it even attracts it's on the radar of all these famous people. So just, I don't know, it's just been crazy to me, but it's been like a stark, like sobering reminder that like I wasn't going to get this far without y'all, like, and that's, I'm humble and I'm grateful for that.
I love it, man. I mean, you've done a lot. I've seen a lot of people recognize you, and whenever they do recognize you, it's always for the same thing. That is for being humble. That is for being genuine. That is just for being a nice guy. And the realness is something this space does lack. A lot of people follow the next man, woman, and just try to chase whatever the bag may be. But there are true people in this space. There are people that you can gravitate towards. I know one that we share is Klon from Cool
My
Cats.
guy, that's big homie.
Yeah, that's a really good guy out there in the space that I feel like people can gravitate towards and not be let down. I met him in LA. He was a very open guy. But I do want to ask, before jumping into the 5 questions, finally, we've talked through Loser Club, kind of the before, getting through, and now to the present where we're at. So I do want to ask, what is next for Jvon and Loser Club? Are you going to pop up at NFT NYC yourself? Are you going to chill back, let other people go? I don't know what you have planned, so I don't mean to put you on the spot there, but
Nah, love.
ultimately, what's next for the project and just like the whole realm of things?
Word, man. Yeah. We are doing something for NFT NYC. Details will come out whenever, details come out. I can't give too much alpha on it. I'm kind of watching everything closely myself because if we pull off what we're trying to pull off, it might be pretty big. I don't know. I can't speak on it, but I might be there. I don't know. You know, I might, play hooky. I might, I'm saying, I might come dressed as like the blue Power Ranger, you know what I'm saying? You might, I'm saying? I might dress up as Klon, yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You don't know who I might be out there, you know what I'm saying? But nah, it's fun times ahead, man. I think our main focus right now, well, I'm finishing up this little animated video for, just the losers to have. But yeah, the event is our key focus right now because I think we're trying to have like a standout impact at NFT NYC. We did our loser event 10 days prep, super last minute. It was kind of orchestrated by by one of the losers whose friend owned a bar downtown LA. And we had such a good talked about event for something that was so unofficial that like we're trying to just make sure we do something kind of grandiose this time around. But yeah, NFT NYC just being the biggest focus. I'm trying to stay at my creative peak. I'm still drawing, I'm recording music, I'm making beats, trying to stockpile on content whenever, we do get around to like, okay, Jvon, it's time for you to drop more art. I'm trying to think the us are because I'm trying to think of stuff I can say that I won't get in trouble for saying.
No, you're good. You're good.
But nah, I'm good. But yeah, nah, just it gets greater later. We're working on some stuff, man. Hopefully it all just works out and then I can kick back again. It's like funny because like at NFT LA, people were asking what was next for the losers, and I couldn't tell them that like we're collaborating with Kyrie Irving. Oops, yeah, we're collaborating with Kyrie Irving to some capacity. Still, it hasn't happened yet. A lot of stuff going on, but yeah, just trying to keep a lid on stuff, but also sound like you're actually working on stuff is crazy. Like, because when you're trying to keep a lid, they just feel like, oh, y'all ain't got nothing. And then something happens, like, oh, y'all got something. And then 3 months later, they're like, oh, wait, y'all really don't got nothing. And then we got to do it all over again. But, it's cool. We could tango.
Okay, okay. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I hope to see you in NYC. And just like off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure I know a basketball player that we've talked about that plays out in NYC, but I don't know.
Mm-mm.
So jumping into the 5 questions with you, some of these are a little hard. Some would say some of them are super, super easy. The first one, I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this, but I want you to go ahead and answer these with the best that you can. Number one being, what is the most important thing in your life?
The most important thing in my life is family. But I guess,
Absolutely.
but I guess, we could even, zoom out a little bit. Community. Um, I've learned coming from like, a single parent home and my partner comes from a single parent home. Now we have this kid who has two grandmas, no real grandfathers, but like she gets babysat by my best friend and his partner and we, ship her to her cousins and like we have so many people who aren't blood but also aren't immediate family pouring into this kid. So like the broader scope would be just community. Like I do everything to further my community because my community is the thing that's pouring into, my child.
I love that. I love that. I know you're a big family guy. I know you're a big community guy. So I knew that was more than likely going to be the answer, but it's still so beautiful to hear. The second one being, what is an obstacle that you have overcome that has helped you get to where you are today?
Um,
Rather it be, and it don't have to be just NFTs, it could be NFTs or just in general life. And that's for
and
all these
not
questions.
existentially, I think I dealt with a lot of disillusionment, man. Especially around the time where I dropped out of school. I only went to school because everybody told me to go to university. I didn't really want to go. I kind of always wanted to rap and like paint. Um, and then like I stopped going to church with my mom because I left the house and just you know you get to an age where like you start questioning like your belief systems and either you come out stronger or you come out confused, and I think I went through a lot of both. um but I think overall you know, wrestling with, the concept of existence itself kind of, it made me like, I think it empowered me creatively because I stopped living within like one frame of thinking, like, and, for lack of, not to go too in depth, and that kind of, affected everything I make. So yeah, I think just, overcoming like my own existential dread kind of pushed me. I'm still very crazy and I have a lot of madness in my heart, but like I'm learning how to day by day, I'm learning how to use that madness and make cool things. So that is the thing to overcome, just the madness itself.
Yo, I like that, man. And I love that you take us on this journey with you and you allow us to be a part of it. And just being able to hear you grow throughout this whole podcast and on your journey. I see you tweet and I see you talk about it in spaces and just talk about it in general, but seeing you grow and trying your hardest to become a better man and just become a better human in general. I love that about you, man. That's something that I really admire about you.
Love, man. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And I guess because this is recorded, like, and that's the thing, man. Like, you're gonna be working on yourself until you die. So, you know what I'm saying? Be easy on yourself if you're listening.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
We're all the
Um,
same.
Absolutely. And this is more of an easier one. So when you leave the house to go out, what are at least three necessities that Jvon brings with him? Now I know people usually say like phone, wallet. Is there anything else extra that Jvon got to bring with him whenever he leaves the house?
Nowadays I need headphones,
Okay.
which is kind of crazy because like the whole new phones not taking headphone jack, and y'all think I got money, but I don't got AirPods. So like there's always a specific pair of headphones I need for my phone out of all the headphones I have. I need my headphones. I need my fanny pack because my fanny pack is what I carry my iPad mini in.
Okay.
And I need the third thing is a tie between chapstick and a bottle of water, a water bottle. I have a Supreme water bottle that I don't know where I put it, and I've been going crazy these last couple of weeks, but I haven't gone nowhere, thankfully. But yeah, nah, I need a water bottle and I need chapstick. So I guess I got four things.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's some necessities. And I think here starting, I don't even want to say starting in New York. I need to start before New York. I need to start keeping at least a water bottle around me to stay hydrated. Not that I don't
Yeah,
drink enough
man.
water. I just need to, I don't know, man. I've been big on my Voss and Fiji water here recently. So I've been on my water kick, I've been on my stuff.
That's good. That's good.
So fourth would be, what is one thing that you would like to do before you die?
One thing. God dang. Just one?
It don't have to be just one. You can give me a short little list or something, but I didn't know if maybe you had one thing that, like, for me, I really want to go skydiving.
Damn, you trying to die quick. It's like, nah, I'm good. Nah, that's cool. Skydiving's cool.
I would be
Um,
so down for that, man. I could only imagine the adrenaline rush, and I really think that like doing something like that could really just put into perspective how small you are in
yeah,
this world.
that's
You
true.
falling back down to earth and seeing everything in that perspective, like you are really just something so small in this world. Not in a bad perspective, but like doing all this. Imagine, look at all the things that you're doing, and then look at how big this world is. So you're making
Yeah,
a impact, man.
right. I got two things if I may.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because my biggest thing, it's not really grandiose, but it's like big to me is I wanted to own land and own a
I like that.
house.
I like that.
My mom has never owned a house. I don't think my grandma's ever owned a house. I don't know who ever owned a house in my family, but I want to be able to, when it's time to die, be like, here, Yumi. At least you have a place. Like you could figure the rest of this out. Like, but I just feel like there's such a like resource and comfort and safety and ownership of something like that. Before they come take everything away and, plug us all up to the matrix, right?
I
But nah, so that's my like deep, serious one. I want to own properties that I could
like
pass,
that.
just not multiple. I'm not like a venture capitalist. I'm not one of those guys. And if you are, respect to you, you know what I'm saying? I don't judge you, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But like I would be good if I own one okay sized house that my daughter can be in for as long as she wants until I die. Like I'm not into the whole kicking my kid out at 18 and this and that. Like no, like it's about community, and I want to make sure that like I'm setting my daughter up to explore, like so she doesn't have to survive, like um but yeah, the second thing would be I want to, dang, it's a lot of stuff I want to do, man. I think I just don't want to die, bro. No, I'm kidding.
Man.
I'm good with death. That's cool. It's just it's it's biology, man. But nah, I want to either paint a mural or I want to paint like a 12-foot canvas before I die. Right now, I don't. I mean, I'll probably be able to paint a mural before I get to paint a canvas that big. I just don't have the space to, because I live in an apartment. I don't own my own property or land. I can't, just whip out a 12-foot canvas and get busy, even though I might have a little time to now. But yeah, I just want to do a super big visual art piece before I die. And I know that's more attainable. Like I can do that by the end of this year if I play my cards right. But they're just those are the things as a kid that like I wanted, I wanted to own a house and I wanted to do a big art piece somewhere important. That's all.
Um, I'm gonna tell you who specifically what. Some people might know what I'm referring to whenever I say it, but whenever we get off this call, I have somebody specific that you could easily probably do a mural for if you're gonna be in NYC. And once I give you the details about that, it would be so sick. So I'll tell you about that after this call. And I like that. No, the first one, owning property, I tell you what, I know you're a smart man. I think you should definitely also look into franchising some restaurants,
That's fire.
like a Chick-fil-A. Because I mean, imagine being able to be like, yo, you walk in that Chick-fil-A, like, yeah, I mean, you're not paying the employees out of your pocket. I don't believe nothing like that, but being able to franchise and be like, yo, like this is my store, like this is doing something like that in itself is also property, also brings revenue. And I think you're kind of like myself. It's all about building something for after you're gone as well. So being able to give that to your daughter, not necessarily the restaurant, but being able to give your daughter something, whether it's a house, leave her money, just leave her some kind of navigation or guidance in this cruel world. I think that's just beautiful. I like that a lot. I really do. The last question is super easy, pretty simple. I'm not going to say easy at all, but it's kind of simple, especially in this bear market. But if I gave you 200 ETH and you had to spend it on only NFTs, what are some big purchases or plays that you would make personally?
Mm.
And this could be for trading, this could be for collecting, but this is
Yeah.
your own personal wallet,
200 ETH is a good little piece of
especially right
change.
now. Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, ETH is still down, but that's still a cool little bag.
Mhm.
Um,
But it has to be all spent on NFTs. No holding.
dang. See, that's crazy because like I got paid a cool amount in, when we minted out. Like, obviously, I didn't take all the bread, and it's all on blockchain. I got 30% of the mint because I wanted to make sure that we put a chunk of it in the project and that
Mhm.
everyone was paid well. So I'm not some money hungry guy. People try to call me like people think that I like, took a bag and ran, but I really didn't. Like I'm still very much working for my
Yeah,
money.
you didn't run
I
nowhere.
played it fair, man. I played it real fair. You feel me? But
So you
nah,
know 200's a decent little chunk.
200's okay. 200 is real good. But my thing, I brought that up to say like when I first got paid, I put money away in savings, obviously, because I have a family. I'm trying to buy a house. But
Absolutely.
I bought some NFTs. I bought four cool cats, and not at the height and not at the prices they are now. So I'm at a loss. I'm a little overexposed. I got my losers. I got some dead friends. I think I would buy more dead fellas
Okay.
because I only have one. Um, I'm trying to think because like I have all the projects I already want. So I probably would like buy the rarest ones in all the project for whatever they're being sold for.
So
So
would
I
you
would
buy an ape?
I don't want to say fuck no, but nah, I wouldn't. Only because like, well, first off, I'm not gonna hold you. I was just about to tweet it too. The mutant apes have been the art's been growing on me. I'm not gonna lie.
For
I'm
real?
really Yeah, man.
I
I don't know
hate
what
it.
it is.
I
I
hate it.
I
I can
I
be on
hate the
recording all
board.
day. I hate it.
I hate the board ape artwork. I mean, I there are some board apes that I love to death. Like shout out to Bando, shout out to Secrets. But like as far as just an artist standpoint goes, I just was like, okay, it's just board ape. But like the mutant apes, the more I look at them, I'm like, they put a lot of detail and a lot of like thought into every trait. Like,
Mhm.
it's ridiculous. Um, I don't think I would buy either though, only because like they're almost at their top. You know what I'm saying? No one knows where any of this stuff is going to go and or what the value of these memberships are going to be long term. Like, I might buy a mutant ape. I'm not gonna hold you. If I had just 200 laying around, I'm gonna buy a couple mutants. I like the mutants a lot. I'm capping.
That's
But nah,
crazy.
but nah, I think I would buy the rarest, like dead fella. I'd buy the rarest cool cat. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I think I'm going to just be a floor sweep. Like right now, I'm looking at my portfolio and I got all the NFTs like I really wanted when I was broke. So like I'm not hungry no more. But I think I might be the guy to come that I wouldn't shill it or engagement farm on Twitter like,
Right.
which project floor should I sweep?
No
But
doodles?
I might buy a doodle. I might buy a rare doodle.
I feel that.
There's something with doodles that I'm keeping my eye on before like I've purchased any. But it's I do like the art. Shout out to Scott again. But no, I think I would be the guy who would just sweep all the projects of the artists I like personally.
I respect
Um,
that.
honestly, like yeah, nah, I like Dose, I like Ariel, I like Klon. Well, I can't afford to sweep a Klon floor, but but like I like myself. Like I'd like the Galverse. Let me see who
Yeah.
else. I think I would spend a lot of that liquid just sweeping, projects that are slept on by my artist friends. I'd probably text all my artist friends like, "Yo, what y'all doing?" And they'd be like, "Oh, we're doing this, this, and that," and I'd be like, "Cool, I'm in." Like, if I had the money right now.
I
But
feel
if anyone doesn't, if for those who think I'm rich right now, bro, check my wallet.
that. You can see he does not have 200 on him right now.
Not at all. Not at all. I put away whatever I needed in savings, and I'm just surviving, bro. I'm one of y'all.
I feel that,
And it's
man.
crazy because like the money that I do have, I can't really touch. If I touch it, guess who's gonna pack her bags and leave and take my daughter? Yeah,
I
I
feel
real
that,
yeah.
yeah.
There's real life stuff going on, man. But now it's all in good fun, man. I would be a floor sweeper for the most part, and
I
I
like that.
definitely, I only got one Ray Ray in my wallet, and he lonely. But I'd sweep floors. I'd sweep floors,
I
especially
like that,
since
man.
I'm exposed to the projects I already like. So yeah, it would just be time to just do my own market manipulation. You feel me?
I mean, it's a respectful route, man, and I like that you're banking on your friends. That's been a big, big route that I've taken from the very beginning is banking on the friends. That's why I
Yeah,
have 60 plus Ray Race because I banked on Dose early on because he was a great guy. But
right.
I mean, that was all
I,
five
I
questions, man. I
I
mean, you
will
did
say though,
good.
I would put like 40 ETH away for one of one artist because I got some homies that deserve some players.
I respect that. I mean, it sounds like the grand play is you're banking on friends, and
Yes.
overall, I respect that. But Jvon, I mean, that's been the five questions. We've had one hell of a
Hey,
podcast. We've been at this for about an hour. So I just want to say, from me to you, man to man, friend to friend, I appreciate it so much that you came on here. Especially, I've said this a lot on the podcast, but this was kind of also again a short notice. But we did plan this for a while, so I can't thank you enough for doing this on your free time. And before we do go, I always want to ask, is there anything that you want to leave the people with, anything you want people to know? And like, basically, who is Jvon? Like, what do you want people to take away from this?
bro, man, I'm just like you, man. And I feel like I just said that because I'm making my partner rewatch Attack on Titan, and we just hit season 4, and Aaron Yeager just said that to Reiner. He was like, "I'm just like you, Reiner," before he destroyed Marley. But nah, yeah, no. For those trying to get in, man, I'm just like you, man. And for those who like are the gatekeepers who kind of control who gets in, if you like me, bro, there's tons of me out there. Like there's a Jvon in one of these discords right now drawing that doesn't believe like that they'll ever be uplifted. Like if you guys just open up the degree of inclusion a little more, however you can, whether it be by employment or just by, boosting somebody up, uplifting somebody, you will see a lot more cool stuff happen in this space. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
I love that. I love that. Definitely. I've been saying it a lot more. I've been seeing a lot exclusivity whenever this is supposed to be an inclusive community. But I think people are trying to get better of it whenever they get, because a lot of it's being brought to light. And,
Yeah.
I'm a big firm believer of whatever is done in the dark will be brought to light. So we'll see it. Anyone doing bad or ill will, it will be brought out. So,
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for coming on here, Jvon. I hope you've
Thank
had a
you.
great time. I've had a great time. This has been a good podcast. And for everyone listening in, go check out Loser Club. Go check out Jvon on Twitter. Talk to him in his Discord. He's an active guy. He's not one of those people that'll just hide from the people. He's very, very active, does drawing sessions literally in spaces when he can. Like he's there. He's there. So once again,
Yeah,
man,
man, I ain't run off
thank
with
you.
nobody back, man. Stop telling people that. If you out there telling people that.
He's here, man. He's here to stay for the long haul. So once again, brother, thank you so much. And
Bless. Thank you.
absolutely. And everyone, this has been episode 25, and we will be seeing y'all next week. Peace out.